Hello and welcome back to the RDA. Once again, we are doing a match preview, boys. It's been a long time. Obviously United are playing West Brom. Things have been very quiet around United. I really don't like the international break. We just see the media, social media targeting, Mason Greenwood. We see nonsense stories about Pogba wanting to leave, saying he wants to go Madrid. We see nonsense stories like
And
Ronaldo wants, we want to see Ronaldo come back. Players get injured, players getting COVID. It's just a mess. International break is just a mess. But yeah, gentlemen, we will be discussing West Brom. It's been a long time since we've spoken. So first of all, how are you guys?
No, I'm good. Like it's a shame what international football has turned into. Like it used to be the heart of football, it used to be everything. Now we can't wait till the international break is over. And yeah, no, the Nations League ain't it, to be honest. It ain't it. But I guess it is a nice break for us as fans, for us who analyze the football in the club. It's a break for Ole, I can imagine, who was under immense pressure. So let's just hope he's come up with something much better and he'll save his job again. But yeah, I'm good and I'm ready to go again. That's Brom.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm doing well and I'm excited to get back into action in the Premier League. And it just feels like this international break has screwed teams over left, right, and centre. And I'm glad we somehow dodged a bullet, but our bullet was hit kind of before the international break with our 3 injuries. So,
Shaw's injured.
Yeah, Shaw's injured, Rashi's injured.
Wait, what? Rashi's injured?
The update is with Marcus Rashford is that he was injured, but he should be fine for this one. He should be fine.
Shaw's out.
But yeah, Luke Shaw can confirm 100% out. So that is, well, to some of us it's a big blow. Like to us it's a massive blow with Luke Shaw. We like Luke Shaw, but for the majority of our fan base, probably not such a big loss because everyone loves Taylor. This is Taylor's chance to see. We will discuss about that. But yeah, gentlemen, what I want to say, because Moloto mentioned something very interesting in the when I asked him how he was doing, is that it was a break for Ollie. So now it's obviously been an international break. Things have calmed down. We last played Everton. We beat Everton. Ollie's job was on the line before Everton. It was like everything was going down. Action was being taken. We spoke to Patch and everything. 2 weeks later, it seems like the fan base and things have calmed down, which it naturally does. There hasn't been football. You're only as good as your last game, which he won. So things have been quiet. So I just want to ask you guys. I'm just asking, just out of courtesy, but has anything really changed? Have you thought about Ollie during the break? Have you thought maybe I was overreacting? Because personally, I stand by it. I still think I am. Oh no, I don't think I am Ollie out. I do think that this is the long goodbye. He will eventually get sacked because I just feel like he's not good enough. So yeah, I haven't really changed. I do feel like I did get more angry at the time, but when I think about it, I still think that the anger was justified. So personally, that's just where I am at the moment. But how about you guys? You guys changed by any chance?
Nah, I'm still sitting on the fence. I'm still Ollie unsure. And yeah, look, I feel like a lot of it is also hanging. It's going to be hanging on every game. Like, fan base might be calm now, but if we somehow get thrashed by West Brom, it's going right back up. And it's going to be much worse. I think I can see him getting fired if we get thrashed by West Brom, because who loses to West Brom? But yeah, I'm still on the fence. I feel like we should give him more of a chance and give him more time and see if he has anything left in the tank.
Yeah.
Clayton, I'm guessing nothing has changed also on your side.
Yeah, nothing's really changed. It's basically as clear cut as always. I don't believe he's good enough for this club in general, but I will still stand by him for now because we have to. He's our manager at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Gotta back our boys somehow.
Yeah.
And this West Brom game is scared.
Yeah. I respect it. I actually respect it. So, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe, smash a like on the video. But gentlemen, let's get into it. Right, it's been a long time. Club football is back. It's back. We're playing West Brom. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to give you guys this fact. This is a fact. West Brom in the Premier League have not won a game. They've played 8 Premier League games. They have drawn 3 and they have lost 5. They have a goal difference of -11. I mean, guys. They're in relegation. They're 18th. There is no way. I'm going to say this now. There is no way. Nothing but a win from this game. I'll say that from now. Nothing but a win from this game.
We'll draw. 100%.
And I think that's the situation we find ourselves in. I think the situation the fan base is in and United are in is different than it's ever been. It's not like now where if you do get an upset result like a loss, there's no pressure. Now we've spoken to Poch. We know Oli, is under questioning. He's under the spotlight. If Oli somehow doesn't get anything but a win in this game,
I'll be in trouble.
Could you guys see one, him getting fired, and two, let's just add to that. Do you guys see any chance of him getting fired if he somehow doesn't get a win, whether it be a draw or a loss? I feel like a loss, there's more reason to do it, but a draw, I think, might be one more game or something.
Maybe, Maybe because we talked to Poch, he'll push the board's hand, but I don't trust this board, I feel like they might try to ride this as long as they can, and because he won against Everton, maybe he has till Christmas now. So I can see him losing and still keeping his job. I think the only way that he maybe loses his job after this game is if he gets thrashed by West Brom, which definitely won't happen. So I think we're going to be stuck with Oliver for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite the situation we're in right now. But I don't know what's going on in the board's head. The last I've heard, they've just been, we're back, Ollie. Yes, let's go. So I doubt.
The last I heard actually was that the board, Ed Woodward and the Glazers, are planning the next transfer window with Ollie's plans in their head. But like I said, football can change in a split second.
And you can't trust this board.
Yeah. And you can't, like you said, you can't trust that board. If Ollie, let's just say, hypothetically, did draw against West Brom, I'd fire him. I think, lots of our fans would fire him, but I think the board could not fire him.
Yeah.
I think if we lose to West Brom, there's a chance, but it's crazy. It's actually like you should be fired. If you lose to West Brom, you're fired. In my head, you definitely fired. They haven't won a game, like I said.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give West Brom, a team in bad form, a team that's just not of Man United's caliber, while we're chilling in 14th, having the start we had, having the players we have, a loss is just no ways acceptable. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
No ways.
That basically puts us in the relegation battle as well.
We put it, if they, how many points they got? 3. Okay, we might not be in relegation, but we know.
Maybe that might scare them when they actually see the table and us close to the relegation zone. But there's no way to defend Ole if that happens. Like I can say it depends on how we play, but like there's no way we can play well and draw or lose to West Brom. So
United at their worst day should get a win against West Brom.
Yeah. I can't
This team on my left should still, as bad as this team could be on the left, they should still get a W over West Brom. There's no excuse. Yeah. There's just too much talent. So, for me, there's no excuse. This is an easy W. This has to be an easy W. Nothing but a W. We've been saying this for what, like the last 3 weeks? We said every game needs to be a W. Nothing but a W will do. So, let's dive.
The easiest W of the season at the moment.
Yeah. That's the easiest W we're going to get this season. So, but let's dive into it, gentlemen. Well, West Brom versus United. I don't really know the history of it, but like we know, United's United, West Brom's West Brom. No disrespect to West Brom fans or to the club in general, but you're just not the size of Manchester United at the end of the day. But let's talk about how the game will plan out, because normally we are good at counter-attack FC. Mr. Malot always says that we are one of the best counter-attacking football teams in the world, which I think we are. That is Ollie's best game plan, is us to sit back, the teams attack us, and we hit them on the break, no matter what formation, style, or we're trying to play. Counter-attack is what we thrive in. I can guarantee you now, West Brom ain't attacking us. There's no ways. They're going to sit back and they're going to break us, which is a problem, because United, when we play City, no problem, fine. We sit it back, we counter, we beat them. We beat big teams because of that reason. Big teams come out and attack us, and we hurt them on the break. Small teams, however, is where we've been making slip-ups. So do not just think, we say it's an easy dub, nothing but a dub is granted. But there is that small, minute chance that we can slip up, because there's one thing we know about our football club is that we cannot break down low block teams that just sit back and say, hold the ball, you create something. We can, I'm not saying we can't, because we have, but it's just not consistent enough, and there's not a plan. There's no plan going forward. It's always like a Bruno special, a Martial special, things like that. So, gentlemen, let's talk about it. What are your thoughts going into this West Brom game? Starting with Malota.
Yeah, now there's some teams you might say maybe they won't sit back, maybe they'll open up. It's definitely not going to happen in this game. They're going to sit back and they're going to try counter. Counter won't be amazing as well. So, I feel like if we're gonna win this game, we're gonna have to play on the ball. We're gonna have to play a lot like we played against Everton, more so in the first half. I wonder if we can do that because I felt like we needed extreme motivation to turn up and do that, and it's not acceptable for a club of this size. We should be able to put those kind of performances week in, week out. So yeah, but I think the opportunity as well, because I think this is the kind of game where you do play Pogba, because as much as you have to worry about them on the counter a bit, they're not that great on the counter, hence they haven't scored a lot of goals. Defensively, they're not that great, even though they're going to sit back. So I think this is the kind of type of game where you can sacrifice either McTominay or Fred and play Pogba and let him prove himself and get back to his best. I think Van der Beek is a must in this game. It's a must because we need players who are good on the ball and going to help us break down the defense. It'd be very ironic if now Mason Greenwood comes back in this game. I just wouldn't understand it. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Just looking at this as well. So I think we do need to give West Brom a little bit more credit, considering that they nearly beat Spurs or held on to a draw last week. The week before was unacceptable against Fulham, admittedly. And they drew to Brighton. They drew to Burnley. They're drawing the games that they should be drawing. They lost to Southampton. They drew to Chelsea. And they lost to Everton and Leicester.
Well, yeah, it's interesting you bring that up because I've said it. Well, obviously I haven't said it on our show because we just talk about football generally on WhatsApp. But I've actually been telling Clayton a lot because when we play FPL where we do our betting, whatever, bet responsibly. But when we do those things, I have been saying that I've been watching a lot of West Brom games and Steven Village and West Brom in general. They are due a win. There's so many games. I'm like these guys they do create chances. They do look like they can win a game, but they drew a win. And I backed it. I backed West Brom to beat Fulham. Sorry, and they didn't do it. So that was a very big shocker for me personally. But yeah, like I said, they are due a win. But honestly, even though you are due a win, like I said, there is a small chance they can do it. But it shouldn't happen. Regardless, even if West Brom were in form, it shouldn't be a.
As Manchester United, we should not be thinking this is possible.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. But we know where we are right now, and I feel like West Brom do not play into our hands whatsoever. And I think this is going to be a bit of a wake-up call again. It's going to be one of those games. It's going to be we're going to struggle, and then we're going to get a pen, and then we're going to win it 1-0. That's more than likely what's going to happen in this game, in all honesty.
I'm starting to see it. I can hear what you're saying, and I've seen it happen time and time again with this club. But I don't know. I just feel like we're going to have way too much for them. We're going to have way too much for them. And I think it's going to make Ollie look good when maybe it shouldn't. But I do think we're going to run over these guys. I feel like there's context. I feel like against Chelsea, Chelsea won the Chelsea that we playing over the last few weeks. They were a bit iffy in attack. Defensively, they were horrible. And Mourinho can be a bit conservative. So, I don't know. I just feel like we're going to run over them. Maybe I'm just hyping it up too much.
Well, we can. I can see. No. The thing is, that's the thing. That's the situation with United we're in now. We can see us smashing teams because we can and we have, and we can see us losing and slipping up to dizzy teams like West Brom because again we have done it as well. So I can see both ends of the spectrum. But honestly, like we all said, a dub that's the only thing that's acceptable. Yeah. A W, a win in those games, the only thing acceptable. But Mal also said something very interesting. He said. Obviously that you can drop. Obviously, I have the predicted next side on my left. My left here, you're right. I don't know what it is, but yeah, next to me, I have the predicted 11. It's what I think Ollie will do, not what I will do. What I think Ollie will do, because I want to ask you guys. Obviously, we would like to see a Pogba, Donny in this team, right? But we've seen Ollie doesn't like Donny. We've seen he doesn't want to use Pogba because of the inconsistency. We've seen this evidently looks like his trusted team. Now we're in a very gray area, in a very weird situation, a strange situation, because we all said this team, it can scrape results against West Brom. It probably can get the job done, no problem, but it's not a team to go forward with. And if they do slip up again, we're not surprised because again the players he picked, some of them just ain't good enough. They're just not good enough, So what I will ask is that, what did you guys change from this team? And then also, do you think this team would you be happy with it? Because you're always screaming for Ollie to not change his XI. So this is a similar XI to what he played against Everton and he won. So would you guys want him to keep the same 11 like this, similar to this, maybe with the odd change because of injury? Or would you want him to still change it for West Brom because you just know inevitably this is not the team going forward?
Yeah, no. I don't like him chopping and changing. I feel like it depends on what he wants to see going forward. If he's planning to integrate Pogba again into the club, into the team, and he's just not playing because of form, then I think he should definitely play in this game, because I think it's the best game to ease him back into the team. But if he thinks Fred and McTominay are his main midfielders in the defense in CDM, then he should go for them. I feel like he should try to play them as much as he can, and just try build a chemistry with the team, because the whole chopping and changing isn't a good idea. But if you're asking me what I would do, I would definitely bring Pogba back in. Yes, I have my doubts about Pogba, and yes, I do think. I heard the comments from Didier Deschamps saying that Pogba can play in the CDM, all of that. I think that's a bit harsh, because I think
just to quickly before you carry on, I'm just going to clear this out now. Deschamps played this formation in France, and he played Pogba right where McTominay is, and he pulled off a world-class performance. So
that's true.
That's what I think. Also, Didier Deschamps says. He said Pogba can play there. He played there tonight. Ollie, it's up to you. You know, how come you can't do it?
Pogba can play there. But one, he's clearly more at home at France. And two, at United, doesn't have, I don't know who they play, but doesn't have Varane, Kante, and all those top players playing beside him. He becomes a defensive liability, because he feels like, sometimes he doesn't even check back. Sometimes. And when he does, he tends to make a lot of mistakes in the box. So I think that's the problem. And is that down to, imagine. So I don't know, is that down to form? I don't know. Or so will once he catches form, will he start playing like the Pogba we saw, let's say, post-lockdown? I don't know either. So I don't think we can clearly say he can play there, and all is the problem. But if you're asking what I would do, I would like to try and work on it.
Yeah. So only Pogba change. That's the only change you bring in from this team specific.
So the thing, I'm not a fan of Donny on the wing. I know everybody wants it. I'm not a fan. I like the midfield. But yeah, he has the legs. Maybe we can do something there. So I guess Donny as well. Maybe Pogba and Donny.
Yeah. Okay. Clayton, what are your thoughts?
I fully agree. I think we need our most creative players on the pitch right now. Donny and Pogba are very needed, so is Mata and Bruno. I think those four are going to be very key in breaking down a low block. I don't think we're going to need the defensive structure as much for a game against West Brom, a team that have -11 in goal difference. They clearly don't create enough for themselves. They don't score enough chances. And our defense is good enough to deal with the threats that they pose. So I think we should be good enough to not have to use two DMs this game. We should be using our creative players. We should be looking for the 1-2s. We should be trying to break down that low block.
Yeah.
So I would say we need Van de Beek and Pogba in this lineup with Bruno and Mata. We need that passing. We need the intelligence. And the one thing that I would also change potentially is I would rather Rashford get benched for this game.
So
the man just got injured and he's thrown into the deep end again.
He won't.
Yeah.
He won't.
He won't. He won't ever rest him. He doesn't. This man
comes
out of injury
that never rest. Is Mr. Captain Manchester himself, Maguire, and Marcus Rashford. Those two just say
literally unless he's sitting.
I was looking at it now because
you
said, like I said earlier, that West Brom got a goal difference of -11. Yeah. They've conceded 17 goals in 8 games.
Yeah.
They've only scored 6. That's what I'm saying. A loss is just you have to fire. The board you have to fire. You fire him.
Yeah, we're not going to lose this game.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't lose this game. I also think so. As bad as we can be out there, I think that we somehow we don't lose this game. Yeah. What I don't want to see though is this team. To answer my own question, I don't want to see us making West Brom look like they're prime Barcelona, because we've known to do that to small teams. Yeah. Obviously, when small teams play us, just why they're so much better than us.
I think if we play a diamond this game, I think we're going to get our asses handed to us. I think it's that simple right now. They love their wing play. They love playing through their creative and goal-scoring wingers. Diangana and Pereira are very good players that could play in most Prem teams. And they're very dangerous on the right and left wing. And if we play narrow and give them space and time, we are actually going to lose to West Brom.
Yeah. Listen, they can be quick on the pick, like I said. Like I've watched majority of West Brom games, and like I said, I have seen something in them. They're not just because on paper they're a dead team. They're not really a dead team on the pitch. They are a duo win in my opinion. They have, like we said, the wing play is very good. They're very good on the counter. So obviously, in theory, that's what they want to try to do. Obviously, they're gonna sit back. They're gonna try to hit us on the break. They're not gonna allow us to hit on the break. There's no way. So there is a small threat. Whether it not be a threat, there is a threat. There shouldn't be a threat, but there is a small threat. Just to put some respect on West Brom's name. But like we said, nothing but a W from this game. With regards to the team, though. Yeah, with regards to this team, though, I don't like it. You all know how I feel about this team. I hate this team. I look at it, I despise it. I hate this team. I don't like the formation. I don't like this team. Well, I mean, when I don't like the formation, I just mean in general the way it's set up. I don't have anything against the 4-2-3-1, just the way it's set up. So for me personally, Alex Telles, he obviously walks in, so we'll talk about Telles just now. But Maguire Lindelof, like I said, not good enough. So I would play Twanzebe, obviously. I would play Pogba. I would play Pogba instead of McTominay. No brainer for me again. I agree with you guys, and I think that if there is a change to this team, it will probably be the Pogba for McTominay thing. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if we Pogba for Fred, because again, and I think that's a bad decision because Oli favors McTominay over Fred, but McTominay is nowhere near as good as Fred. He's not. We've seen it. United fans have seen it. He's not as good as Fred. So I think that could be something there. So I think between Fred and McTominay, one of them will lose the spot to Pogba. I think that could happen. With Mata though, I know he is creative. I know he hasn't been on and off. But the way Mata plays in that right wing, it's not even like a traditional right wing. It's more like you come in at 10, but then you just drift out wide to keep the formation or whatever. I would actually play Donny van de Beek. I think he has to start. As people are saying, I don't care. I don't care where Donny plays in this team. Donny has to play in the team. I don't care if he's on the wing. I don't care if he's Bruno and Bruno goes to 6. I don't care. But for me, Donny van de Beek has to play. He's one of our best players at the moment, if not one of our best behind Bruno Fernandes. So you need to get Donny in the team for me, and I think you have to get Pogba in the team, and those are my biggest problems. So yeah, that's just what I think first.
The only reason I play Donny over Matt is because of the legs, and Matt's not as spread as he used to be. But I think creativity-wise, it'll be brilliant for this game. Him dropping into the midfield, playing those interplays with Martial and Bruno. I think it's what's going to lead us to winning this game. So I'd definitely play him for that.
I'd play Donny though. I'd say Donny is a young Mata. That's what I think. I think Donny is a young Mata. I think he is creative. No, maybe not like a Bruno skill, which is lobbing balls all the time, but he's very intelligent. He makes the right passes. He makes the right runs. He's very good tackler. He's tenacious. So it totally makes sense. Even if you play Donny instead of McTominay there, and Pogba is right winger, let's just say, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm not saying you must do that. I wouldn't do that. But I'm just saying any way you get Donny to this team, it's instantly better. The only negative would be it won't happen, but the only negative is, and I think the problem is that Oli only sees Donny instead of Bruno Fernandes, which is not. It's just not true. It's not true. Yeah. It's not true. It's awful decision.
Both of us.
It's a depth thing.
Yeah.
He wants to have options. I think it might be down to that. We've been scarred in that instance. So, but then doesn't mean that you can't do it now. It's a flawed way to think that you're gonna need him.
So some people are gonna probably say to Oli, pick this team, stick with what won against Everton. Don't change it because let's just say he did put Pogba instead of McTominay, and Pogba gave away a 90-minute penalty, and we lost 1-0. I mean, it's like again, and then it's gonna be like whether it's Pogba's fault or is it Oli's fault. It's like whose fault is it?
It's really Oli's fault.
We're in a weird situation. At the end of the day, Oli has to manage it. I can't manage it. You can't manage it. We can't manage it. But Oli has to manage it, and I think it's more about the results game than anything. It's not about results.
Depends on what type of manager you're. If Pep was in charge, you look at that team and say, I'm definitely playing Pogba. But if Mourinho's in charge, he's definitely playing with Fernandes and McTominay. So a practical manager will look at it and say, which team will guarantee a result more? He looked at this team, the CDMs protect the defense, and those 4 should definitely be able to break down West Brom. So a practical manager will pick. I think so. I honestly think so.
No.
But the thing we say because it should.
Think about it.
But we don't.
It should, but we don't. That's the thing.
I mean, this specific team with Matt and Bruno together. If you remember back to Newcastle, I think they were great on the ball. Did we play this team against Everton?
This is a team against Everton.
Yeah, so we played this team against Newcastle, they were good on the ball. We played this team against Everton, they were good on the ball. So I think if you want to break down...
This team against Newcastle is that Daniel James played.
Okay, true. I think that makes it even better because now you're adding an aspect to it. Yeah,
4-1.
Fair. But look, if you bring on quality players 70 minutes in, obviously they're going to be effective because the other team is finished, you know. But I feel like we will go on the ball with this team. Every time we play Mata and Bruno together, we tend to be good on the ball. So I think it's the right combination for this game.
Yeah, it definitely is on paper. Definitely is. It's just let's see how they try and stop it. Because if they man-mark Bruno out the game, for example, what are we going to do?
Yeah, it's tough.
But Mata,
it's simple stuff.
I
don't think Mata can do what Bruno. No one can do it.
I think the problem for me...
It's West Brom he should, but I don't know anymore.
I'll say this. If Mata was younger, I would play him every game. If Mata was younger, I would play...
If we had a prime Mata,
yeah.
It's like you'd be...
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
If he was younger, I'd play this team or that front four every single game because I think it's our most creative. So I think whenever we can get some out of it...
But that's what we have Donny, because Donny is the young Mata. He is. Donny is the young Mata. What did Mata have that Donny doesn't? Name something. Because his passing isn't bad. His brain isn't bad. He was actually faster than a prime Mata. So he can tackle better than Mata.
Mata's more of a 10. Donny's 8.
Yeah, he's more of a 10. He's more creative, I guess. But Donny can play. Especially now, we're not talking like we have a prime Mata. We have this Mata. So Donny is clear of this Mata.
True, but this Mata could do a job for 45 minutes. He could do a job for 50 minutes. That's the problem, though. He's papering over the cracks again.
Like I said, this team can get a win over West Brom, but he's papering over the cracks because Mata's doing nothing against City. I can tell you that now.
So what are you saying? Are you saying we should play Donny van de Beek every game on the right? And that,
now, yes. Yeah, well, now, yes.
Nah, I can respect that.
Yeah, and like I said, if you watch our Poch video, if any of you guys watched our Poch video, I did put Donny over there. I said Donny would probably play there instead of Mason Green instead of that because Poch would want him there. So,
and I guess this is the best game to experiment. Like there is no better game. Yeah. But I think
if there is a time for Oli to change stuff or the way he's going about things, is this game. The thing, but that's what I'm saying. We're in such a weird situation because if he did bring in Pogba instead of McTominay, he did bring in Donny instead of Mata, and he lost. Oh,
it's his fault.
Oh, we are in trouble.
He's in a tough situation.
And then we're gonna be sitting there saying, how did that team lose against West Brom?
We're gonna say tactics. We're gonna say tactics. But if we win and the performance is shit with this team, we're gonna complain about him not playing the best players. So
honestly, but then what if we like Mata? We're gonna give him a 4 on the match preview, or we're gonna give McTominay a 4, but we're gonna be like, we won because Fred carried McTominay. Bruno he did a madness, that's what I expect, and there's too much of that. So that's why I'm all out in the long term. Because like I said, this team can go this weekend and beat West Brom 3-1, 4-1, 2-0. It can. Yeah. But it's not the long-term team. There's no longevity in this team.
Yeah, look, us as fans will have different opinions, but the Manchester United manager has to pick his team and back it, and he needs to do that more often.
It's true. Let's talk about. I want to talk about Alex Telles because we are major Luke Shaw fans, right? We all love our boy Luke Shaw. We are in the minority of people who like Luke Shaw. But recently, Luke Shaw has shut up all the haters. He's been getting the assists. Defensively, he hasn't lost his game. You can call him fat. You can body shame him all you want. You can abuse him, bully him, whatever. At the end of the day, he still shuts you all up. He was the guy who said, "Bring in Taylors. We need competition." And at the moment, I think he's the first choice left back. There is no two ways about it. I think even Oli would agree that Luke Shaw is our first choice left back. He is our starting left back. But Alex Telles, he hasn't played much for us. He played one game under United. PSG, he was our wing back. Attackingly, we've seen how good he is. We've seen that he can put in a cross. So for West Brom, Alex Telles is perfect, I think. I think the injury to Luke Shaw is something we all expected. That's why we bought Telles. People always say Telles is way better than Luke Shaw. He's going to get his chance to prove it now, right? I think Luke Shaw has exceeded expectations and he's actually made a name for himself, which is good, which is why competition is good. But having Alex Telles in the team and Luke Shaw being out injured isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because in a game like West Brom, where there's a low block, I'm expecting Telles to have a big influence on regards to this game going forward. Yeah. Defensively, he might not be tested enough to see how to make our judgment on him, known. But offensively, I want him there, especially if Ratchet's not playing 100%. I need him to be the main man on the left, to be doing things.
Yeah. And let's not lie, we bought him for his offensive play, even if he's a left back. So it'd be interesting to see. Yes, we don't want Luke Shaw to get injured, but if you want to look for positives to Luke Shaw's injury, we're going to get to see a couple of games of Telles and see how good he actually is. And yeah, I have a lot of hope. I think we don't really have a type of... Yes, Luke Shaw's good. I'm not going to take anything away from Luke Shaw, but we don't really have a Trent or Robertson. I think he can be that. So it'd be interesting to see how he combines. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how he combines with Rashford, and us trying to break down teams, having a player like that is a bonus. So yeah. Very excited about it.
Yeah,
it's a big bonus. It just fully comes on to tactics as well. But if you want to play attacking wing backs, play attacking wing backs. If you want to play defensive wing backs, play defensive wing backs. It's down to the manager, and it just feels a bit weird that he's forced to chop and change now with that.
You know what I would say quickly, Clay, before you just tell me what you guys think about this. Honestly, I just thought about it now because you said it comes down to tactics, right? And whether you're not. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I always say Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the best defensively, you know. So keep him wide, keep him there in that shape. But in this game here, let's just say we had to overload the left side because the left side has talent, right? So let's just say we forced the left side more. So let's say Alex Telles was more often attacking wing back. But then Fred now necessarily, because Alex Telles is there, and you know Alex Telles is no Luke Shaw defensively. Fred can sort of play deeper. You know, we don't need Fred to create. We don't need Fred to be where he normally is. You know, we don't need him to be close to Rashford, to be close to Brom. We can't ask Fred to be like, hey, just cover this general Alex Telles area. We can't tell him go more left. We can't say Rashford, go more left. Martial, you know, be on the left side. Force the left side. You know, it is all about tactics. We can overload that left side. So and I think being Fred, you know, he is our best player to cover for Alex Telles if you want to come forward. But yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, it's fully just tactics. If Oli gets it right, then we should see a lot of attacking threat coming from Telles. We should see the interplay between him and Rashford. We should see that left side come alive for sure. Bruno cutting in, Martial dropping back a little bit. So we should see all that. And if we don't, then it's just going to be incompetence with us playing with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Mata on the right. That's not exactly...
Like, why would you choose to attack on the right? When you have that.
I feel like everything's going to go down the left, because Matt himself is shopping in. Until it's
that's what I'm saying. Our shift will be mainly this way, especially because Maguire. We know how Maguire is also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am expecting a lot of that. But I will ask you guys though. You know, Alex Telles. Everyone knows he's a good crosser. Everyone knows he's very good attacking forward. But because you're so good at that, would you guys play Edison Cavani instead of Martial, knowing that, you know, his form lately, Martial, he hasn't got many goals, to be honest. You know, France, he's played decent enough for France. He was unlucky, I thought, to not get 2 goals in the Portugal game. Yeah, very unlucky.
Not
to get 2.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
But I wouldn't. But I'm just asking you guys, you know, let us know in the comments below if any of you would. But any chance, if there ever was a game you start Edison Cavani, maybe this game? And that is the game plan. Alex Telles to just whip it into his head or into.
It'll probably work. It'll probably work, and we'll probably see Cavani shine a little bit because he's playing 90 minutes. But yeah, no, with the whole situation of he's jobbing on the line, with us being a couple of points behind the top, I just don't see. I wouldn't do it either. I feel like it's too risky, really. I would bring him onto the pitch earlier and keep Telles on, because I don't think it's good for him to play like 10 minutes, especially against a team like West Brom. I think he get more minutes, and especially if Martial's not scoring. But I'd definitely start Martial.
Yeah, I think Martial's our number 9. Like at this club, he is our number 9. There's nothing else there. It's Martial or Brook, kind of. But again, this is kind of the one game where you would play Cavani. And obviously, you're the manager, you see the players in training every single day. If you play a practice match with Telles and Cavani in the same team and they synergize, go for it. That's all I have to say. If it works, do it. I'll back that 100%. Because it's a solid strategy. Even if you play into his feet, because Cavani's a poacher, whether he's going to use his head, his feet, his chest, anything. He's a born goal scorer who's going to poach those balls up in the box. Whereas Martial's going to drop back. And I think that also just is why crossing's never worked for us. We've never had a number 9 that's a poacher. We have a very smart forward in Martial. We have one that likes to win the ball, who likes to distribute it, who likes to look for the assist rather than the goal himself. Cavani's just straight up, I'm going to score this. No doubt in my mind, this is going in the back of the net. I'm going to track this ball. It's mine. Like we saw with his first touch when he made his debut for us in the Prem, off the corner, nearly flicks it right into the back of the net. Yeah. That's the type of player he is, and if it works in training, I think give it a shot. This is the one time you get to give something a shot like that.
For me, I don't know. I feel like if we're going to play Cavani, we're going to have to change a lot of things about how we play. And I don't know if this is the time to do that with the circumstances. Because I think if you play Cavani, you need to be playing your wingers, your fullbacks much higher. You'd be crossing way more. Yes, Telles will, but I think we'd need Wan-Bissaka to pitch in as well. And if you're playing a player like Cavani, I remember Zlatan, he likes to have the ball to his feet. And he doesn't make a lot of runs, and the interchangeability is not as good. So it'll slow down our play. It'll slow down how effectively we break down teams, and I just don't think it's the right time to do that. As much as it is West Brom, I feel like there's just too much tension in the fan base.
Cavani's a different player, though. I don't think he's a target man. He's been darting in behind every chance he gets if we watch him. Even if he's playing on that right wing, if he's playing on the left wing, wherever the
for me, Cavani is more like a fox in the box.
He's going to dive and get in there. He's not going to be...
It's similar like Igalo. We wouldn't say Igalo's a target man. It's just more like he's a fox in the box. He's going to be in the box. He can only be in the box. He's not going to be like Martial. Come receive the ball, give it, and then sprint all the way.
And I think with Mata, especially, it's great. I think Mata offers the idea to play a proper number 9, if you put it that way. Like, Mata is going to be the enabler. Him and Telles are going to be the creativity on the wings. Wan-Bissaka doesn't need to do anything. He literally doesn't. He can sit back. We can play a back 3, basically. We can pull a potch and actually use our brains a little bit, guys.
No, we can. Like I'm saying, what I would say though is you can do that, but like Roach says, the circumstances is very tricky to do.
Yeah, when we're in the situation, it's hard.
That's the unfortunate thing, because
consistency.
Let me say what Marcus would say. If you're not going to rotate your squad now, you're not going to make changes now. When are you going to? If you're not going to take against West Brom, when are you going to do it? So that's.
I get that. Every night, He's going to play every night.
What I would do, obviously I would never drop Martial. But I would say if what's our problem? We cannot break the low blocks. So if after 60 minutes, if I see we're not looking to break down West Brom and it's not long, then I'll bring on Cavani. And you know what the thing is? I'm thinking of Rashford. I would put Martial on the wing. I would, because I think Martial is more creative than Marcus Rashford. And then I'll just switch that. So again, but you know what will happen? I can tell you this now. He won't do that. He will take off Martial for Edison Cavani. Straight swap.
Yeah, you will.
And I don't know. This is not an insult to Rashford, but Rashford just nowhere near as creative as he should be. He's a fucking winger. Yeah, he's just a goal scorer. He's a goal scorer on the. He's not creative. It's something I've always criticized him for. It's something I hate every single game because you play in that position. It's what your job is. But he never does it.
Not anymore, really. I don't know. In the modern game, I don't know if wingers. Yes,
but we don't play the modern game. That's the thing. We don't play the modern game yet. Manchester United doesn't have the time. We don't play it correctly.
Yeah, we don't. It's messed up.
I don't know.
It's like half.
We've got to mix between everything. We mix and match.
I feel like we do.
No, we're not a winger. We always say the Rashford.
When we do play with Rashford, yes, he does try cut in and play through the center. So in that sense, we do play the modern game, but maybe we're not consistent about it because when Dan James plays,
the rest of the team around him is an issue.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
So the rest of the team doesn't play the modern game to accommodate that. That's the real point. That's why Rashford struggles in some games and thrives in others. It's because some days they're on it to help him play the modern game, with allowing him to cut inside, making him the space. Martial will drop deep, something will happen, he'll open up some space, and Rashford will cut inside. That's what we should be doing every game, because that's Rashford's strength. But we don't, and then Rashford struggles some games. He'll just sit on the left and do nothing.
That's my favorite thing about Marcus Rashford. Either I'm giving Rashford a 10, or I'm giving him a donut. That's just with his... Those are
clearly the biggest problem is consistency. So, honestly, I'd rather Ole just be consistent. I'm not really interested in what he does, to be honest. I'd rather see consistency.
No, but that wasn't for the... Yeah, it wasn't the start. It's just a change argument. Like, if you're struggling to break down the low block, it makes no sense to bring off Martial, more creative than, you leave Rashford and Cavani, who are not creative. They're both selfish. Like, the worst thing that could happen right now, and this is probably what will happen, let's say it's 0-0, and let's say it's 75 minutes, because Oli doesn't make his changes early, right? 75 minutes in 0-0, and then he takes off Martial, and he takes off Mata. Because I think this is what will happen. This is what I think Oli will do, if this is the situation. And then he brings on Cavani, and then Mason. Yeah, and right, is bad. But, and then now, who's creating a goal then? Like creating
relying completely on individual brilliance.
Creating it.
You can say
You
Bruno.
actually cut in and whoop it. That's it.
No, but I'm saying, but now the point is that I said 75 minutes, it's 0-0. So that means Bruno has been marked out of the game and he hasn't created anything. Obviously, you don't take Bruno off because he can, if a moment comes, he probably can do it. And if there is one player, but now we're talking about that front. Let's say Bruno's marked out. Guys, this is not goal. I'm telling you now, unless it's a shot out of nowhere, there's no goal coming.
It depends,
I don't see. Honest, nobody mentioned it. When has Rashford made us a tap in? When has Cavani made us a tap in? When has Greenwood made us a tap in? It's always the same thing.
That's fair.
And it won't work.
But then you can't really say that because Rashford's a goal scorer. He could score a goal. He could score a goal from individual
Who's
brilliance.
going to create the chance from him though? Then that's an issue with tactics as well. You're just relying on him to get a shot away and hope it goes in the back of the net. Rather create a clear-cut chance for Cavani or Rashford to pick up.
Dude, guys, like, it's down to all his tactics, really. Like, we're going to argue his tactics. It's the way he wants to go, though. It's the way he wants to go. If he prefers Rashford's individual brilliance over Martial, like, that's his cross to bear, honestly. And he should do it more consistently because it's what he thinks is best for Manchester United, honestly.
Yeah. But now, what do you guys think if Oli played this team? Right, like somehow if he does change, let's say he plays Don. I'm already liking this thing. Because I think this could be our best team we have at Manchester United. That is probably our best 11. If he somehow plays that team there, oh my god.
I'd love that team, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
that team would be awesome. But it's a bit more tricky tactically. I think, as Mark Goldbridge keeps saying, like, for him to play Pogba, who's not completely defensive, who will want to go forward sometimes and come back.
This is why we get ignored, right? We say it might be a tricky tactically for the manager of Manchester United.
Yeah,
there should be no such. There should be no such.
Oh, you can't do this.
But if what's his name again? It's like Pep playing parking the bus. He doesn't know how to set it up, so he'll never play it. It's not his strength, you know? Yes, you might question it. You don't know that.
Tried it. He did it against Leon, for example. It failed disastrously with a pointless stance.
Not really. Exactly. So, look, he must play to his strengths. If his strengths are McTominay and Fred, which it works a lot. If those are his strengths, then he should play to those strengths and die with those strengths. That's what I'm saying.
But can we all agree this is the team we'd love to see on the...
Yeah, no, definitely.
No. Let's say Oli somehow he surprises us. He picks our favorite team, our best team, this team here. And he's somehow lost with this team on the field. Where will that blame go? Obviously it's hypothetical. We don't, let's ignore Pogba giving away a penalty or whatever. Surely the only thing is tactics. Surely this man. Because you guys are going to say it's like that on paper, even though... Let's just say, even though the tactics weren't his best, you're telling me on paper that team can still not beat West Brom.
Fair. You guys are definitely going to say tactics. I'm going to say, yeah, maybe he isn't good tactically, but maybe if he played his best team, which he understands the tactics for, he might have won the game. So it's not black and white.
It's not black and white, but that's the situation we're in. I'm just showing you guys how interesting, how both ends of the spectrum are. If you play the safe team, he wins it, and then I'm still going to be up, but like, yeah, cheap. I know you can win with this game, with this team. But long term, I know you can't. There will be a slip up, and if you did slip up against West Brom, I won't be surprised. I'm like, yeah, you picked the shite team. No Donny.
I don't believe in the idea of changing managers. You know, like in changing who they are. It's like when Mourinho came and we were asking him to play attacking football. That was never going to happen. So I don't like how Ole succumbs to that. We scream one thing one week, he changes. We scream a different thing next week, he changes. He just needs to go with what he's good at. And
Oli is just inconsistent with it. Because when Oli first came in, he did play a 4-2-3-1, but the amount of freedom and attackingness we had was very good. You know, it was a surprise. We might have been countering still, but it was a lot more fluid than it is now. And now it's just like we haven't seen it. Like now people are sussing up. Yeah, all we want to do is counter attack fluidly. And West Brom not going to do that. So And that's the thing. No matter who your manager is, like let's say like people knew Mourinho was going to park the bus, so they looked at ways to break the bus. If someone broke Mourinho's bus, I can guarantee you now he's going to look at something to change something, to fix it.
Yeah.
If Pep's tiki taka doesn't work all the time, Pep will do something to change it.
He'll tweak
it. He'll tweak it. Yeah. All he's tweaking, however, is nonsense. All he's tweaking.
Yes.
Ollie changes
Daniel
everything.
James. Exactly. And Ollie, if he has tweaked this team in my head, I'm seeing freaking Daniel James instead of Rashford because he did well on the international break. I'm seeing, I don't know who else I'm seeing. I don't know. No, I think he'll keep the midfield the same. Yeah, but I would see something like a Daniel James and Mata being our wingers. And then, I don't know. But that's interesting. So, score predictions. Assuming he played the initial team, I'll write it down. But if he did do that, what do you guys think will be the score prediction?
3-0. I think West Brom aren't good enough to stop us. West Brom, nice one. I don't think West Brom are good enough to stop us. I think we're gonna have too much for them, and I think it's gonna be one of those games. So I'm gonna go with 3-0.
I hate Manchester United for this. I really do. Because this is one of those games where we can slip up so easily. And I just feel it. I really just feel us slipping up.
That's a good feeling. If you guys believe in jinxes or karma or everything like that.
Yeah.
When Clayton says we
every
lose,
time I've called it.
Yeah, we don't lose. Don't worry.
It's fine. I don't know why, but I feel like we're going to slip up. I think we're going to play a weak team. I think he's going to make late changes, and it's just not going to work in time. And I think we're probably just going to end up losing at 1-0.
The uproar.
I feel it. I don't know why.
Now I'm like in the middle. I think both can happen. I think if Clayton's happened, the uproar will be inevitable. Ollie's gone. I think if Malota's happened, people will be like, oh yeah, Ollie. People, I love Ollie. Yeah, it's like, I love Ollie. You see Ollie guys want him out. Now if it's West Brom, you see Ollie. Yeah, the Ollie sexuals will lose their minds. It doesn't matter. And then we're just going to be there if we want with this team. We're like, but we knew we can. I mean, you're telling me our standards have dropped that much that our team, that team can't beat West Brom now. Come on. Obviously they can beat West Brom. That's a joke thing, isn't it? But what I will think is, it will be a tougher game than expected. I do think because Manchester United, so I don't think it'll be a walk in the park. I don't think we'll lose either. So I'm gonna say a 2-1. I know it's like that is the most set on the fence prediction, but I do think West Brom do have a goal in them. I do think that Steven Village is smart enough managerially that he can make a goal, especially with our defenders, with Maguire, McGinty, as people like McGinty and Lindelof, those two centre backs. So I think West Brom can get a goal, but I think we'll inevitably have too much. And I think if he did play this team, come 75 minutes, you just chuck Pogba, Cavani, Donny, you'll get a result. You will, because that's our best players on. And like we said, we've seen Ollie use that as impact subs, and it's just great. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting. I do think the one thing that I think that's missing is I do think he will bring Pogba back into this team. I think that will be the change.
Nice. I guess that would be nice. It'd be nice to see him perform because we all want to see Pogba do well at this club. And yeah, this could be a good week to win because the big teams are, I don't know if we should be comparing ourselves to them, but the bigger teams in the league have tough games. Leicester, Liverpool, Man City, Spurs, and I think
let's just
they're
say
both going to drop points.
This is the update. If we won our game this weekend, and let's just say we are the only team that played, and we have a game in hand, so just keep this in mind, we would only go to 10th.
True, but what about the point difference though? It's still not that horrible.
Well, yeah, 16th is like.
Well, we're 8 games in.
Yeah.
What difference isn't horrible between relegation?
Leicester is in 18. Yeah, Leicester's on 18 points. We will be on 13 points. So.
It's not that bad.
I mean, it's not bad. But
how many points for West Brom on University?
West Brom on points 3. No, am I lying? Yeah, 3 points. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, 3 points.
West Brom on.
Well, that team to give them 6 points. That type of team.
Like I said, we will have to see. I'm just excited that club football is back. Very interesting to see what Ollie OGS has to do this weekend. What team will we see? what player ratings we're gonna get. Because I tell you what, win or lose or draw, it's gonna be a juicy analysis. Because either way, we're gonna be we're gonna be arguing, Ollie's not good enough, or he saves it again. He saves his job once again. An easy fixture. But I do think we have very hard fixtures coming up. Let me just see what our next game are. So after West Brom, it is Istanbul, which is on paper it's easy, but we lost to them. And Champions League. So if you lose to Istanbul and then we have to beat Leipzig and PSG again to qualify, suspect. So it's Istanbul, Southampton, PSG, West Ham, Leipzig, City. Tough fixtures.
Tough fixtures.
How do we have such hard fixtures back to back? Even before this. It's insane.
Imagine on paper West Brom, Southampton, and I forgot their other one already.
Istanbul.
City, there you go, and City. No, just top Prem games I'm talking about. Those on paper, there's one bad fixture there. There's one bad fixture. We should be beating Southampton. We should be beating West Ham. We should be beating West Brom. But right now, in the current circumstances, either of those 3 games, we could lose all of them. We could lose all of them.
It's embarrassing.
We're at that stage right now.
No, yeah, Man United is very embarrassing at the moment. It's run like a joke. It's run
no
like
disrespect to Southampton and West Ham right now, but we should be beating them every single.
As Man United, we should be beating Liverpool.
We should, yes, Man United, but I think they are the better teams, one of the better teams in the Premier League. And if we look at positives, after you get past this long run of hard games, we're probably gonna have gang and easy games. So if we can get through it with a decent amount of points.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, we will see this weekend. Saturday is coming. Let's see what happens. We can't do anything about that result. We cannot do anything unless Ollie listens to us. But other than that, we're just gonna have to see what Ollie pulls out of that. So, yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to say before I end off?
We need to win.
It's a must-win, yeah.
If we lose,
Not even lose. If we draw second, it's inexcusable. Inexcusable. This isn't a game I should be stressing about. This I need to close my eyes, wake up 3-0. 3 points.
Especially
if you touch them. Yeah.
Scared that it isn't gonna be.
Yeah, come on, guys. Like West Brom.
Yeah, exactly. So if let us know your score prediction down below. Let us know your predicted 11s or what team you would like to see start against West Brom. Let us know just your general thoughts. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, please do consider subscribing, smashing the like, and yeah, like I said, comment down below. Follow our socials. It'll all be in the description down below. Much appreciated. We're on 89 subscribers as we speak. 1 away from the big 90 and then the road to 100 subscribers, Very proud of you all, Yeah, and just further onwards and forward from here, upwards from here. So yeah, I'll check you in the next one and see you guys on the weekend.